Now the song in the background, in case you don't know, is from Ghouls and Ghosts, or Super Ghouls and Ghosts, or Ghosts and Goblins, whichever way you like to call it, whatever version of the game you prefer. Definitely one of the tougher NES games of all time. In Shade Man stage, it's definitely probably my favorite Robot Master stage in Mega Man 7. He's just so cool looking, you know, being kind of like that mix of a Bat and Dracula all in one, plus the homage to Super Ghouls and Ghosts is awesome as well. Now to get that song to play, you had to hold in the B button when you selected a stage, or else you just get the normal Shade Man stage, which is still a very good song to listen to. Now this is the other stage with two different paths. When you get to this pumpkin boss, there's two ways to defeat him. Either destroying his core to get to one path, or destroying the outer shell to get to the other path. In the first run, I'm going to go ahead and destroy the outer shell. Once it's destroyed, it's going to run into this right wall here, and allow us to continue onto the stage during this path. Once we've defeated Shade Man, we'll come back to the stage, destroy the inner core of the pumpkin, and that will lead us to the boss battle against Proto Man. Now, with the stage playing the Ghosts and Goblins song, just one little small fact, if you didn't already know, if you didn't watch my game music of Mega Man 5, the composer of Mega Man 5 actually worked on Super Ghouls and Ghosts. As well, of course, that Super Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins is also another Capcom franchise. Now here's where we're going to get that item that we need to take this path to get. We're going to switch to the Rush Search ability and use it right under this picture of Count Wily here. Rush will sniff around for a little bit, dig around, and then he will pull out the item. Now this gives you the energy balancer, which I didn't pick up in Mega Man 6. What it allows you to do here is, when you pick up an item boost, anything that brings your items back, it will automatically find the lowest item, whatever you have the lowest amount in, not the one you have selected, and fill that up. So it's easier to fill your items back up. So it's a little bit useful, definitely. Now as we move on through the stage, we run into Bass, who apparently has been defeated, and we tell him to go to Dr. Light's lab to be fixed. He thanks us for being a good friend, and he teleports out. We then face off with Shade Man, who gives us a nice little bow before we face off with him. Like I said before, he's probably my favorite Robot Master in the game. You can start off by giving him a full blast-up shot before he flies up into the air, and he likes to do these dive bombs at you. He's going to dive directly at you wherever you are, so stay away from either one of the walls so that when he dives down you can move in the opposite direction of where he's diving to escape his dives. He then lands and gives you two blasts with that white moving ability, and then shoots out these two sound waves that go in and then come back to him, and then he fires two big blasts of the green sound wave-like ability. Now they end up being pretty easy projectiles to avoid overall. And as you can see, I've already delivered a lot of damage to him pretty quickly in the battle. He's going to land one more time and start the whole projectiles again. Now I only need to deliver a couple more shots to him. One more shot. And Shade Man is done. Now what's going to be kind of funny here is we get Shade Man's ability, and we can see that Dr. Light's lab is in perfect regular condition, like normal. However, after we get that scene, somehow we teleport back in just seconds later, and the lab's been destroyed. By who? Well, of course, it's been destroyed by Bass, who's actually working for Dr. Wily. Now before we face Dr. Wily, we need to take another stop at Shade Man stage, which I don't mind. We get to hear the regular Shade Man music now, as I just love that beginning when you land in and the moon gets revealed and that's the lighting of the stage. It's just very nicely done. Like I mentioned before, to get to that battle with Proto Man, we gotta get back to that pumpkin boss. I'm going to use the jump shield real quick to avoid some of these enemies, just so I can take them out without taking any unnecessary damage here. As you can see, it works. It's pretty similar to like Woodman's and all, but with a slight differential that makes it a little bit different overall. To the right here, we enter the pumpkin battle. Now I'm going to use my full charged up shot, but don't shoot the outer layer of the pumpkin. Wait till it opens up and deliver the shots inside. It's a little bit hard sometimes to hit it with the full charged up shot directly in the middle. However, you can make little quick short jumps in order to hit it with just your regular Mega Buster shots. This is definitely the harder of the two things to deal with. Thankfully, he doesn't have too much health. Once you've destroyed it, it's going to bounce around a little bit, go to that hole, and then it'll break open, allow you to go to the right here, destroy this guy right here, head to the right, and we enter into the battle with Proto Man. Now, Proto Man is similar in some ways to the classic Proto Man battles we've seen before. He bounces and shoots at you, and then he has a large spread shot, but he also has a full charged up ability, which is something that Mega Man gained in Mega Man 4. He moves back and forth between the stage, either jumping from left to right, or does a quick sliding ability towards the other side of the screen, which is very easy to jump over. And when he delivers that full charged up shot, you can either jump over it and let go, or you can time it so that when he releases the charged up shot, he's open for a hit, in which case you can then launch it at the same time as him. It'll hit him and you'll still have enough time to jump over his full charged up shot. The only real annoyance in this battle, like all the other battles we've had with Proto Man over the time, is that you don't have a health bar for Proto Man, so you're never quite sure how close you are to actually defeating him. So now that we have our Proto Shield and we've defeated Proto Man, we're going to use the exit ability, exit out, and now we can actually enter Dr. Wily's castle. Just like the classic NES games, we get to see the skull castle of Dr. Wily's in the background, and then we get to see the different levels and the path that we're going to have to take to get to each level. So here begins the real challenge of Mega Man 7. The Mega Man bosses before this and the stages that we've dealt with didn't have too much perils in the stage. Wily's stages add a little bit more of death possibilities with some more tougher challenges in terms of jumping, but that's really not the issue. The boss battles, in my opinion, in the Wily castles in Mega Man 7 are definitely more challenging or more time-consuming than any of the previous battles in the Wily castle or whatever castle it is in the earlier Mega Man titles. In most of them, you're going to have to not only face the robot boss at the end of the stage, but you also have another boss. In this stage, we're going to have to face off with Bass, and then right afterwards face the robot boss of the level. Now I'm using the super adapter throughout most of the stage just because it's easier to avoid the jumps, and I highly recommend getting used to it and using it as much as possible. You can take out a lot of enemies very easily, as well as avoiding certain jumps altogether or making it easier to make over a lot of the jumps. This is definitely the toughest area of the game, jump-wise in my opinion, with these little platforms that spin around. Not too much more other than that's going to be a real challenge making it through. They didn't really make the game tough in that sense, like some of the older Mega Man